What's up, everybody? Welcome to Among the Fence. My name is Aaron. It's time for New Music Friday. Taking a look at some of the new releases coming out throughout the week of August 23rd. And as always, if there's something that I missed, leave a comment below letting me know what it is so me and everybody else can discover some new music. There's a lot of releases that came out last week that I was hoping to do a review on, and I only got to do the Left to Suffer album review. I still have the Falling in Reverse Popular Monster review coming out this weekend, so I guess you could look forward to that one. But anyways, let's talk about some of the new stuff that's coming out this week. Within the Ruins is releasing their new album titled Phenomena 2. Based off of the singles, I'm not really sure if this would be considered a very strong successor to the first Phenomena album. I'm sure it'll all come together when we get a chance to listen to the whole album. This is one of my favorite bands, so I'm excited about this and I'm hoping for the best. It's just they're missing that super technicality that Within the Ruins is really known for, that flair that they have that makes them Within the Ruins. But yeah, I'm hoping that the deep cuts will have a little bit more of that. We also get a new album from Brojob titled Deathcore is Dead. I feel like this is going to be pretty sick. I know they've gone through some lineup changes and a lot of people aren't really too happy about it. The new vocalist, I think he sounds pretty good. He's got some really gnarly distorted vocals and some really crazy snarly stuff going on. I always view this band as kind of satire though, so it's kind of hard for me to take this band seriously. And I don't mean like in terms of their music and the songwriting and stuff like that. It's just kind of like Infant Annihilator. As long as they're releasing the most insane, extreme stuff as they could possibly release, I mean, it's basically what the band does. So it doesn't really matter who's the front man, who the guitarist is, as long as they're able to provide that kind of music and that kind of song structure stuff and able to do the job of being the most extreme, I don't really see what the problem is. A lot of people take satire bands super seriously, and when stuff starts changing, they start complaining and stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like this guy does a good job. Singles have been super intense. And yeah, I don't know. The Deathcore is Dead. I feel like this one, it's not going to be their best album, but I feel like it's going to be one of the heaviest Deathcore albums of the year for sure. We also get a re-recorded version of Miss May I's Apologies Are for the Weak. As I said before, I feel like this is a very bad idea. Fans are going to remember how good this band used to be, especially like newer listeners who kind of jumped on board later in this band's career. They're going to realize how good they used to be and how much they suck now, especially when they start releasing new music. They're going to be like, how come they're not doing what this was? How come they're coming out with this very mediocre sounding stuff? And it feels soulless. And I feel like, sure, I mean, it might get a couple more listens and stuff like that on Spotify, re-release of vinyls, and make a little bit more money that way. But in terms of like, I don't know, long-term success, they're just showing everybody how good they used to be. And for some reason, they just don't do that anymore. The Oklahoma Kid is releasing a new EP titled Featherminded, which I really do enjoy that name. It's been a while since I've been into this band, but the singles for it have been pretty good. They're getting a little technical. They're not too techno-y sounding, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. They seem to be a little bit more creative instrumentally within this EP compared to their last record. And I don't know, I feel like this band is moving in a decent direction, especially, I don't know what people thought of their last record, but it was just kind of okay. I didn't hear the whole thing because it was just kind of okay. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a pretty solid EP for them. Silverstein is releasing a new single titled Skin and Bones. Their last album, Misery Made Me, was quite the improvement over their album before, A Beautiful Place to Drown. But I don't really know if that's going to continue that. Their singles, to me, aren't really the best anyways. I just hope that they stick with some originality and also stick with a consistent thought, because as far as album goes, that's where Silverstein is the strongest. And A Beautiful Place to Drown, it was just all over the place. There was no direction musically, lyrically. It was, to me, it just felt like a scattered mess. And then when you get into Misery Made Me, I feel like they actually had a thought, an idea, an actual direction for the album. So yeah, I have a problem with Silverstein singles, but if it works out in the album kind of form, I feel like it's going to be a great song all around. We also get a new single from Blessthefall titled Drag Me Under, featuring Alpha Wolf. I had a hard time with that one because Drag Me Under is the name of another band, and I kept thinking it was Blessthefall featuring Drag Me Under plus Alpha Wolf. But no, that's the name of the song. It took me a minute. Their last single was all right. It was generic. It was overproduced, and I don't really expect it to be getting much better than that, to be honest. Their last album's 8 years old, and the same thing could be said about that. It was pretty generic, and just it just wasn't anything special. Not a whole lot of originality found in it. Kingdom of Giants is releasing another single titled Bloodworm, and I feel like the same could be said about this band, but they do have a little bit more aggression to them. It just kind of falls apart in the choruses because they're bland, and it just sounds like they're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Their other singles were a bit rough and formulaic too, so I don't really know. I did a review on Passengers. I wrote it up, but I never filmed it, and I felt like the band was moving in a good direction if they would have incorporated more stuff. They're kind of like a cleaner version, a more modern metalcore version of Alpha Wolf, I feel like. And I feel like if they add a little bit more of the aggression and hardcore elements that Alpha Wolf has, then they would be doing all right. But since they're incorporating a little bit more modern metalcore stuff into their music, I feel like, I don't know, it probably isn't going to be the best thing they've ever released. We also get a new single from the number 12, Looks a Lot Like You, titled Eyes on the Fireworks. I'm very, very much excited for this. I don't know if it's going to be nearly as crazy as anything off their last album, Wild Gods, I believe was the name of it. Their singles are just kind of tame in terms of the stuff that is actually on the album. But if this means that we're getting a new album from them sometime soon, then hell yeah. If this is your first time ever hearing of the number 12, Looks a Lot Like You, and you listen to this song, don't just realize that's not what the band stands for. If this is a more kind of radio friendly kind of thing, go and listen to anything off their last album, Wild Gods. I'm pretty sure Wild Gods is the name of it, and it's insane mathcore. It's all over the place. Kind of reminds me a lot of the Calloused Owlboys. Not quite as weird, but also just weird in a different way. We also get a new single from Carcosa titled Righteous Man. I'm a huge fan of guitarist and also fellow YouTuber Andrew Baina, and I think that this is going to be one of the heaviest releases of the week. I think it's going to slap. They write some pretty intense stuff. Again, I take them seriously, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of just like a YouTuber's band. But I don't know. I feel like this band writes some very, very just legit stuff. Their music is so good. If you want to consider Brojob a serious band, I feel like Carcosa is also a pretty serious, heavy band that should be taken seriously. Not a lot of people have heard of them, but I mean, they slap. They're very heavy. And if you're looking for something heavy this week, there's not too much, but this is definitely one of the ones to look for. And that is it for New Music Friday. Like I said before, if there's anything that I missed, leave a comment below letting me know what it is. And if you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like. It helps out so much with YouTube's algorithm. If you're interested in my videos and you want to see more, and you're not subscribed, you don't want to ring the bell icon for whatever reason, this will keep my videos popping up in your recommended section. But if you do want to support my channel further than that, feel free to subscribe and ring the bell icon. That way you get notifications. Doing any of that stuff helps me out tremendously, and I just thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me sit here and talk about music and joining me for another New Music Friday. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or night whenever you happen to be watching this, and I will talk to you guys next time.